Christy. I am a mama of 3 kiddos and we're homeschooling here with a 6-year-old who is in 1st grade, a 4.5-year-old who is doing pre-K, kinder things just because of his level in certain subjects, and a little toddler who is just learning so much and so fast in this house that I'm like scrambling to get things ready for him as well. So I'm hoping that all of my videos on this channel help you out and help get you organized and a feeling of solidarity that you can do this homeschooling thing too. Today I want to share with you how I am organizing my evaluation portfolio for my 1st grader so that I'm not scrambling at the end of the year. So we're starting from the beginning of the year. So let's go ahead and dive in and show you what I'm doing. All right, so some things to keep in mind while you're watching this video are that one, I am talking from a Florida standpoint, so certain things may not pertain to your state. So I encourage you to look up the law for homeschooling according to your state. In Florida, there's 3 different avenues that you can take. One is to homeschool with the homeschool statute, and within the homeschool statute, that means that you have to file a letter of intent, you have to keep a portfolio, and you have to have an evaluation done at the end of the year. Then other avenues you can do is you can do an umbrella school, and the 3rd way is with tutoring. So that would also fall under like a private school, but it's like a different branch of private schooling. I have decided to do homeschooling under the homeschooling statute, which means that I needed to file my letter of intent, which I already have for this school year, and I have already started planning my evaluation portfolio, so I'm not going crazy. So that's what this whole video is about, is to show you how I'm kind of organizing myself from the get-go to have a really smooth year. So this is it, my homeschool 2020 portfolio. Well, it's not mine, it's my daughter's, but it's like so close to my heart. I guess just because it's my 1st grader, it's gonna be the very first time that I ever do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you all the different pages and my thoughts behind them. So the very first one is a place where she can write her name, and I thought it was really great to just have her write her name from year to year. You know, just to see the progression of like the clumsy letters and how they'll progress into, I'm sure, really beautiful letters as she gets older. So it's a nice memory to keep, which, let me just say, this is mostly what this is. It's like a keepsake. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on here, and that's on purpose. I would rather have a lot to have to pull stuff out of, so that at the end of the year when we're in front of the evaluator, it's not like too much, but there's enough to show her. I don't want to just show up with like 3 or 4 things and like cross my fingers and hope that that's enough. I want to like sit down prior and say, okay, well, this is for me, for us as a family to keep and cherish as her 1st grade memories, but there's stuff here that we don't necessarily have to show the evaluator. So for the seasoned homeschool mamas out there, if you're looking at this and you're saying, wow, she's really like doing way too much, it's a keepsake. Be gentle with me. Anyways, the next thing I have here is a letter of intent. I didn't actually put our letter of intent in here because, you know, privacy issues, but I made it really pretty with pretty font, and I already have one set up and with multiple children for years to come, although I just read that you only need to file a letter of intent 1 time per child. So if this is your 1st year filing a letter of intent in the state of Florida, you don't necessarily have to file that letter of intent every single year for the same student, but you do for brand new students. So good tidbit to know. Okay, and then I also have in here the confirmation email that I got that we are good to go. Then I have an attendance record. Now, Florida does not need you to keep an attendance record like other states do. I am, though. At least I am this first month. Let's see how it goes following months. I just saw a lot of portfolios that had it, and it was pretty easy for me to create one, so why not? Then, this is necessary for record keeping, is the curriculum list. I will probably fill this out in my computer, but I wanted to show you guys how it looks blank. I have a reading log. This is mostly for her free reads, and this will help her to stay on top and feel empowered to read more and feel really proud of herself. We're going to be documenting when we started, when we ended, the title, the author, how many pages, how she feels about it, and then we're also going to be doing mini book reviews. Let me see if you can see that. And then just going a little bit more in depth. As you can see, this is my bedroom. So we have some of the things that we're reading at night. We kind of started with Peter Pan. I don't know if you can see that in the corner. The language is really rough right now. So at the beginning of the year, we decided to actually go with Charlotte's Web, which we have this really beautiful copy of. It also has Trumpet of the Swan and Stuart Little in it. That's why it's so thick. But it's so beautiful. I can't remember where it's from. I think it was a gift that someone gave us. And we cherish it. Oh my God, Charlotte's Web is such a great first grader book to read, and a great first book to start getting into free reading. And just awesome literature. So anyways. So the reading log and the mini book reviews are meant to document all of those free reads. And if you've seen my other videos, you know that we're doing the Amplify online curriculum, and there is just a host of there's a pretty long list of free reads for first graders, and I think that as we continue in this year, we'll become more avid readers together. It's something that I'm also learning to do more of with her, and with Amplify Online, it's so literature rich that we're reading all day long. So we take a little bit of a break at some point in the day, and then we resume back at night and we read some chapters out of Charlotte's Web. The next thing that I want to show you is something I'm really excited to do with her. It's called my Strength and Challenges log. It's something that I'm planning to do actually after our first 6 weeks of school are done. I think you can do this at the beginning of the year with any student, but I wanted to get her back into the groove of schooling first before answering these questions. So there are questions like, what are 3 things I'm good at? What are 3 things I need to work on? What are my goals for the year? And then also, what are my goals as a teacher teaching her? The next page is our field trip log. Oh gosh, I cannot wait to start going back on field trips and doing some adventures. I designed, or scheduled, I should say, our curriculum to be 4 days a week. So we school from Monday to Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And depending on the day, depending on their focus, it could be anywhere from 9 to 12 or 10 to 2, or if she just has no focus and the little guy doesn't want to take a nap and the middle little is just like wants to play with his dinosaurs and doesn't want to have anything and he's like hanging off, like those are days that maybe school takes like 6 hours or so, and not because we're doing it all the way through, but I give them lots of breaks during the day. But anyway, so we do that Monday through Thursday, and then we take Fridays to do, like, ideally our adventure days. Right now they're like our poetry tea time days because we're still home. We're not really going out as much because of the pandemic. However, they are designated to be our nature study days, which we do nature study, but we do it from home and whatever's in our neighborhood. We haven't been able to go and explore outside. As soon as we do, we're gonna start cataloging everything in our field trip log. And the idea here is that we also take lots of pictures when we're out adventuring, and that will become like a storybook of sorts, where when we come back from our field trips and our adventures, I'll be able to print off some photos or show her the photos, like what are the photos here that you really love and want to create a story about. That way at the end of the year we can talk to the evaluator, you look at these photos and you could tell her the story of what you did and remember what you did. And then my idea as well to go along with that is to print out the pictures like at the top of the page, and at the bottom her narrate the story and create a story of her being the central figure of the storybook, and then going from there. So that's a project that I'm probably gonna post about in a video on how we create that, but that's the idea of putting it in this field trip log section. All right, so then we go into the school schedule. I don't know if you've noticed, but I really love all these like little watercolor elements along with the geometric shapes that I created. I'm really in love with all of the graphics that I did. So anyways, this school schedule section goes along with all of our school schedule. In Ambleside Online, there's so much information on what to do for first grade. So this is where I have it all. And I already have this filled out, and there's probably too much information in here, but again, I'd rather have to pull it out later. So I created our week-to-week schedule. This is what one of our weeks looks like, and we just go down, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get the stuff done. And then I also have here Exploring Nature with Children's schedule. You can find this online. This is our nature study program that we're doing for this year for our first grader. And then all of her enrichments. So that includes composer study schedule, the artist study schedule, her folk song schedule, and her hymn schedule, and all the rotation of what that includes. And then we have what Ambleside Online has for their schedule per term. So a lot of seasoned moms just use this and don't do the weekly schedule. Maybe as the years go on, I'll be able to just go off of this, but I needed something a little bit more concrete to get me in the rhythm of how things can work. And I didn't want to miss anything or leave too much for the last day and then be overwhelmed with too much information for the last day of the school. So I have everything here. That was term 1, term 2, and term 3 of year 1. And then just all of the information, I literally just copied and pasted straight from Ambleside year 1 website. And it just goes into all the books, the book list, what to get for phonics, foreign language, poetry, literature, history, and then all of the footnotes. A really great suggestion that I read from the Facebook group in the Ambleside Online Facebook group was one mama that said to go ahead and print out all the footnotes. So that's what I did. And the great thing about the footnotes on Ambleside Online's website is that it tells you things to look out for within every single book, everything that you can encounter, things that you might want to watch out for. For example, like An Island Story, that book in particular in the UK is called Our Island Story. Things to watch out for in language in different books. I'm pretty sure that there was something about that for like Peter Pan, that, you know, Tinkerbell can be a little feisty. They say it in much more descriptive language. Anyway, so I have all of the footnotes, all of the books. That section is done. So anyways, I now have all of these other sections to fill out. So I have one for geography, I have one for history, literature, math, nature study, poetry, religion, foreign language, science, and art. I have here all of the birds that we're going to be studying with the Burgess Bird book, and I just know that I have them here, and as we're going, I have a wonderful project coming up for this as well. I just didn't want to lose all of the bird photos. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, when I look at it like this and I'm putting it out there for you, it looks like a lot even to me. But again, I'd rather have the sections already done. I'd rather have things to look forward to filling up, and we're doing all of this already. We're, mapping things out with Paddle to the Sea. We are creating so much art and learning drawing, and how amazing would it be to show the arc of her learning journey in this one binder, in this one place, like how she learned how to draw from the first term and how that translated to what she's doing at the end of the year. And my hope and prayer is that it translates. It's something that she can go back to and be really proud of the work that she did. So that's what I'm really trying to do, is highlight the year. And perhaps that also includes things that were not so good. But that also highlights, growth by the end of the year as well, right? So the first term and the second term hopefully will highlight things that, maybe she needed to work on, and then showing how there was growth at with the third term. Some things that I'm also hoping and aspiring to do is for her to dictate to me her narrations, so I can put that in the literature side, have conversations and maybe jot notes about it down, about what she said, maybe funny anecdotes of things that she said, collages of photos of projects, of me taking pictures of while they're doing things, all that. And then of course the standard things of like any worksheets that she does, like for example in math, for her handwriting, copy work. Just there's so much to do. And now I feel like I at least have a blueprint for what I want at the end of the year. Because I put so much love into this and the graphic design of everything, and I wanted it to be different. I didn't want every single page to look exactly the same, and so that's why every single page has its own little feel to it, but it all kind of comes together. That's just a little bit of an artist that's in me that wanted to do that for us, and I figured, I put so much into it that I'm putting it for sale in case you guys are interested in purchasing it. I have a small Etsy shop. I'm filling it with the things that I'm doing for our family, and if it serves your family, I would be so thrilled for you to pick up your copy. So I hope you love it. I'll put the link down below so that you can go visit our Etsy shop. And I'll put all of the tidbits as far as what is Florida law. And if you don't live in the state of Florida, I'll put the links for the different sites where you can see your own state and what your homeschooling laws are. And I hope that this is broad enough that it will help you. If you need other pages, let me know in the comments below. All right, that's all, y'all. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you around at the next video.